Widders, the current Indigenous Wellbeing Manager in the NRL. Dean, thank you for taking the time out to have an interview for us. It's great to see you. Obviously, people in the UK know you really well, and obviously over here. So, just got a few questions regarding your current role and any advice you can give to some of our players at the moment. What is your current role, and what you're currently doing?
So, I'm Indigenous Player Welfare Manager, and it's look after a lot of our Indigenous players and their needs in the game off the field, and that can be anything from educational outcomes. We've got guys going to university studying, and guys chasing employment as they come towards the end of their career, or it could be some guys who are dealing with some of the issues that we have in life. Players with gambling problems, any sort of addictions and those things. We make sure we get those players help while they're in the game. And our biggest focus, I suppose, is just to make the players better men off the field and make the game better for the people that are all involved. And that's the families, the fans, and everyone. So we focus in on those things. In the Indigenous space, I'd also like to tap into our culture. Our cultures are a source of inspiration and motivation for our players, and also they take on serious responsibility the more they learn about that culture and how important their role is as a role model. So I try and help our players tap into culture and learn about themselves, where they're from, learn their traditional languages and dances and those sort of things, and that comes then with the responsibility of upholding that culture in everyday life.
Fantastic. And there's just been an Indigenous game, isn't there, last weekend? How important is that to the people, and what's your experience of that?
Well, it's the biggest week of the year in rugby league for our Indigenous players. You talk about some of the highest profile players in the game, the Latrell Mitchells, the Cody Walkers, the Tony Staggs. Some of these are the biggest names in the game. They talk about how much they get out of that week because they learn about their culture. They learn their responsibilities that they carry as men who have profile to influence some of our younger people and help them make better choices. So that's all great about that game. That week is to build our players up into that right at the start of the year so they know what they carry with them all year. So that's brilliant. But then also just the impact the game has and the celebration of Indigenous people and their involvement in rugby league, what our people have given to the game and what difference the game can make back in a community. So you see all that celebrated last week. And for me, the two Indigenous cultures to the two countries that sort of play in the NRL, New Zealand and Australia, for the Māori and the Indigenous side, it's a great way to start the season off on the right note.
Yeah, fantastic. And I know, speaking off camera, when we came into the room, and straight away you recognised the Yorkshire accents within the rugby league girls team and stuff. And you obviously spent some time in the UK, spent a lot of time at Castleford, and they love you over there as well. So what's your memories of coming over to the UK and playing at Castleford and living in the area? What's your memories of doing that?
The people, the fans at Cass, I think I lived right in town there. There's great people around there. I'm still lifelong friends with a lot of people there. Some of my best mates from Cass that didn't play footy, but definitely support the club and a great part of the town, and what they did. So the memories myself and my family have of all of the people. The rugby league was great. I enjoyed it, and Cass, a great club to play for, and the fans get right behind them. But it's the people that I remember most. I thought I got to live in one of the great parts of the world, and people so friendly. They look after you. They really care about each other. They love their rugby league team and they're passionate. And I have the best memories of living at Cass, and I stay in touch with a lot of my mates that I played with and a lot of other people I met in the community, and that's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, brilliant. I think the feeling's mutual. I think when you speak, to any of the Cass fans and stuff, the memories of you playing over there as well. They've got all the fantastic memories of that. And final question, just about what advice would you give to any player, in the NRL coming over to the UK, whether that be from a performance point of view or a well-being point of view, or if the family settle in? Is there anything that you can look back and think, we could have had that advice, or we should have done that? And it's an important move and a big move, but what's your thoughts on recommending things to players up to the UK?
I think you're going to a place where rugby league means so much to the people there. The north of England, they love the game. They live and breathe it. They die for it. The young kids, and I lived in a place at Cass, where they're crazy about rugby league. A small town like that with around 6 or 7 junior league teams. I couldn't get over it that everyone played. So realise your potential to really make a difference and help the English game grow. put back into the clubs over there, because those clubs have been around a long, long time and they mean so much to the people. And then also use it as a way to grow and expand yourself. You know, you'll get to travel, you get to experience a culture that you've never experienced before. You get to learn and grow as an individual and as a family. And I think if you take those things on, you'll have the greatest experience over there in England, because it offers so much if you want to get in there and invest and be part of it all. And for me, I just love the opportunities for my kids to travel and to learn and to experience different things that they'll never ever get to experience in Australia. And they still have fond memories of it. Even, 14, 15 years later, my kids still talk fondly of their time there, and they've still got great mates from England. Even though they're only in primary school and just starting high school, when they were living there, they still talk to their friends all the time.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thanks again, Dean, for your time, doing some fantastic work, and some of the memories that obviously people in the UK as well is unbelievable. So really appreciate your time, and thanks for the interview.
Thanks, man.
That.